Wasteful Spain held, Barcelona planned midfield moves, Messi mesmerises again, Varane chooses PSG over United, and the transfer roundup all coming up in the next few minutes as I'm your host, Matt Froelich. You are the One Footballers and we are still in Munich thanks to Volkswagen. This is the Daily News. So first off, Anteo, a quick roundup of yesterday's action in the Euros and Spain. My God, they started with a pretty poor 0-0 draw against Sweden. The reason I say so is because this isn't the Spain that you normally see. A Spain full of attacking flair who can finish it when it comes to getting the ball in the box and in the back of the net. Alvaro Morata missed an absolute sitter. Long gone are the days of Fernando Torres and David Villa absolutely tearing up international tournaments. Spain couldn't hit a barn door with a rifle. Unfortunately though, they do have Gerard Moreno, who is in some good form, and although he came on, he didn't quite find the back of the net. You'd think he'd be able to play his way into that fantastic form he had in the second half of the season with Villarreal, a little bit better than Alvaro Morata can. Of course, they've got so many other attacking options. It's amazing it stayed at 0-0. Sweden do have Robin Olsen to thank for that, because what a stunning performance from him. Honestly, if a goalkeeper pulls out a better individual performance for the rest of the Euros, I'll be absolutely amazed. This means that both teams have 1 point and Slovakia actually topped the group after a 2-1 victory over Poland. And elsewhere yesterday in the football, Scotland's campaign got off to a nightmare. Not only did they lose at home, they lost 2-0 to the Czech Republic. Patrick Schick managed to score from 51 yards. It's the longest goal ever scored at the Euros, and it's not exactly how the Scots wanted to start their campaign. And don't forget, you can find plenty more Euro 2020 content on the OneFootball app and the VW OneHub. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you check the links in the description below. Right then, moving on, and next up to Barcelona, who have some midfield moves, according to Ronald Koeman. He's not only got to get rid of some potential deadwood, but also he's looking at bringing in 1 or 2 new midfielders as well. At the moment, with the likes of Pedri, Frenkie de Jong, and Sergio Busquets, despite the fact he's getting on a bit, those two look like they're going to stay. But as for the future of Miralem Pjanic, Carlos Elenia and Ailash Moriba, well, it's a bit up in the air. Some of them could get new deals, some of them could be sold, and 1 or 2 of them could even get a loan deal, maybe with the likes of Moriba and Elenia. As for who they're going to bring in though, well, there are 2 names being thrown around at the moment, and both of them would suit Ronald Koeman's style of play, especially now that they've missed out on Gino Wijnaldum as he's headed to PSG. The first one is Lorenzo Pellegrini. The Roma captain has a release clause of 30 million, but Atalanta have got first dibs on him and could sign him for 20 million. Yes, Atalanta are a very good side. I'm sure if they stump up the money, Pellegrini would be interested in talks. Having said that, if he knew Barcelona were interested, maybe he could have his head turned. In fact, a midfielder with him alongside Pellegrini and de Jong would be pretty good for Barcelona. But the other option is Rodrigo de Paul. Now, he's been linked with all sorts of teams, including Leeds and Liverpool in the Premier League, but he's currently away on international duty with Argentina with Lionel Messi. So if anyone's going to put in a good word about joining Barcelona, it's going to be their current captain. Moving on though, and talking of Messi, last night he was in pretty good form yet again. Argentina opens their Copa America 2020 campaign with a 1-1 draw against Chile. And in fact, they could have lost had Arturo Vidal managed to convert his penalty. Anyway, Messi's free kick was an absolute stunner and the perfect tribute to Diego Maradona, who was paid tribute to before the game with a stunning light show and some brilliant visuals. Considering that those are probably the 2 biggest teams in their side of the draw for the Copa America, it's not a bad result for either, but they are on 1 point apiece. On the other side of the draw, Brazil had a pretty good start with a 3-0 victory, including Neymar getting on the score sheet. Next up then, and a bit of a blow transfer-wise for Manchester United, as according to reports, Raphael Varane has decided to leave Real Madrid, reject Manchester United and join PSG. Now, of course, the allure of moving back to his home country could be very, very difficult to ignore, but having said that, the chance to play in the Premier League with Manchester United and all the money that comes with it is something quite difficult to reject. And maybe, just maybe, I'm thinking this shows the strength of the project at PSG. They've managed to tie Neymar down to a new contract. There's talk that they're going to keep Mbappe for the long term as well. They can attract some big players. They've got a lot of money behind them, and recent results have improved in the Champions League. I know they got knocked out in the semi-finals this year, but they made it to the final last year, and they didn't have a mass exodus after it. Normally, when the team loses or it feels like they reach the end of a project, a lot of players leave, but this hasn't happened with PSG. And if they manage to bring in one of France's top centre-backs, this will only further the fact that they are going places. They've also managed to hold on to Mauricio Pochettino this summer as well. You're probably wondering why Varane wants to leave Real Madrid. Well, apparently the offer that is on the table for Sergio Ramos is going to be accepted by the player, meaning that if he's going to accept a 1-year deal, he's definitely going to want a starting position. Alongside this, David Alaba's joined the club. I can't see all 3 of them playing at once. One of them is going to be sat on the bench. If they're going to make an effort to sign Ramos down to a new deal, they're going to put all that money into David Alaba coming into the club. I'm not saying that Varane's going to be completely unwanted, but he's not going to get all the game time that he needs. And with 1 year to go on his contract, it's probably better for Real Madrid to make some money from him now and him to get the massive move to PSG. Finally then, a quick roundup of the rest of the day's transfer news that you might have missed. And Aaron Ramsey is looking to return to the Premier League from Juventus, with Crystal Palace, Everton and former club Arsenal interested. Chelsea are apparently front of the queue now for Aston Villa midfielder Jack Grealish, although it could cost them up to £70 million for his signature. Papu Gomez's agent has not ruled out return to Serie A from Sevilla. And lastly but not least, Kieran Trippier has reportedly told some friends that he expects to sign for Manchester United this summer. That's all from me then. Make sure you check out everything else we got going on. And until next time, from a sunny Munich, thanks to Volkswagen, I will see you guys later.